You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Rod Mahood, your in-game voice of the Niagara IceDogs, and you're listening to the Dog Pound Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your podcast source for all game analysis, team interviews, and up-to-date news regarding the Niagara IceDogs.
We're here with assistant coach for the Niagara IceDogs, Teakle. Sean, you're the new guy here, so what have you thought of just the general, intensity, the compete level, and just your general thoughts on the organization as a whole?
Yeah, I think for being off for so long, the intensity is definitely there. There's definitely a lot of skill here. We got a lot of good players, and we're real happy, and we think the future's really bright here. But we're real happy with the camp's gone so far. Has
there been any young players that have really caught your eye at camp, maybe that you weren't expecting? You know, through a couple days here at camp, we're starting to see a couple of guys emerge. Who are a couple guys in your mind that have stuck out?
Well, yeah, I think a big one for us is Declan Waddick. We got him a lot later than we thought we were going to be. We thought he was going to be a legitimate first rounder, right? So that's definitely been not really a surprise, but he's definitely looked like a first rounder here at camp.
And just your general thoughts on how things have been going as far as being an assistant coach with this team, and just your thoughts on the organization. Again, you missed out last year with the pandemic and everything else, but it being your first training camp as an IceDogs assistant, just your thoughts on being one of the new guys as well, coming in not just with these two new draft classes as well.
Yeah, super excited. You got a lot of experience here with Jody and Billy and Joey at the helm. They got a lot of experience, they got a lot to learn, but it's a first-class organization. Can't wait to have real games and have fans in the stands and really get the real feel of the Meridian Center. With being in Ottawa for a little bit, I got to feel a little bit during the playoffs back in the day, but real excited. A first-class organization, and can't be more than happy to be here.
And is there something that you're trying to instill in these kids here, being at their first training camp? Is there something that you want them to take away from this, or are you just kind of trying not to overload them with a lot of the on-ice, coaching and things like that? Are you kind of just trying to get to know them as players off the ice as well?
Yeah, kind of trying to get to know them. I think that's a big thing, especially when developing players. You got to get to know them as people first. So that's kind of been the first step, but just instilling compete. As long as we're going to be a second effort team here in Niagara. As long as you compete, mistakes are going to happen. We get back, we learn. We just want to instill in the young guys to compete hard, be hard to play against, show up every day, be good teammates. Instill that culture right from day one.
And lastly, what do you think your coaching style is? What do you think you're going to bring to this team, and how are you going to put them in a position to be successful on the ice this year? Because it's been a long layoff, and the team that finished up last season, it wasn't a great team. So what are you hoping to kind of move this team forward here? What would you be looking for as positive building blocks here?
I think a big thing is building off of the core that's here. You look at the guys that are here. You look at Uberti, you got PD, Butsy, all those guys up front. Those guys have taken a step. They're a year older now, and we're going to rely on those guys heavily. And I think with the young guys coming in, there's a lot of talent, but we want to instill the way we want to play fast, play hard, compete. So I'm going to be a big liaison to that, and I think I'm a big players coach. So I'm going to be around them, get to know them first as people, and then know what buttons to push to get the best out of them.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. We'll be talking to you, I'm sure, throughout the season, but it's good to have you here in Niagara.
Thank you.
Cam, I know you're a veteran guy, but this is your first training camp with the IceDogs, as you were acquired in the middle of the season, the last time that they played a season. So how do you feel here being your first camp in Niagara, and with two draft classes coming in at the same time? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. I feel great. It's been a long time since I played a game of hockey, as like for many people here. So I think it's good to be back. It's fun to be back, and it's a lot of good energy here.
What do you think of the two draft classes coming in, and just the competitiveness with a lot of bodies for not a lot of spots on the roster this year? What have you thought as a veteran player about the young guys coming in, and have you been reaching out to them and kind of just trying to coach them through it, because it can be really hard as a young player?
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone came in as a young guy at one point. When I came in, I was really nervous, and there's a lot of older guys in Peterborough who helped me. So yeah, I've been trying to reach out, and just trying to get the nerves out. But they've been great. I've been really impressed with a lot of them. They're bringing a lot of great energy and playing hard. So it's really exciting.
And you scored 2 nice goals today. Again, that wicked shot of yours. Just how did you think that your team's playing in general, and what are you hoping to get out of the rest of camp?
Just gain some confidence. I think everyone's playing hard, like I said. Everyone's here is trying to get a spot. Like Billy said at the beginning of camp, there's open spots, so everyone's working their way towards that, and it's been good hockey so far.
Yeah, and just how are you feeling just getting back out on the ice, being here at the Meridian Center again? There's a few fans. There's going to be a lot more on Thursday night, but just what does it feel to be back there out and playing in sort of meaningful games and getting your feet back together?
Yeah, it was awesome. When I came back here for the first time, it was exciting. It was awesome to look around again, be back in the room, see a bunch of the boys. So it's just a good feeling to be back.
Awesome. Thanks, Cam. We'll be talking to you much more this season, and good to have you back.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Pano Fimis making his debut for the Niagara IceDogs, the 2020 second overall pick in the OHL draft. Pano, your first time down here in Niagara, finally getting onto the ice here. 2 draft classes coming in at the same time. How do you feel that you and a lot of the first-year players coming in as rookies have done? How did you feel like the competition level's been, and just the intensity of everybody trying to compete for a lot of rosters, or not a lot of roster spots with a lot of bodies?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's awesome to finally be down here. It's great to view the rink and stuff like that, and be back with the boys and play some hockey. And I think the rookies have done a great job. You know, we've held our own. We've shown that we can play, and it's going to be interesting to see how things turn out.
You've had a great start to camp. You've caught a lot of attention so far. How are you trying to kind of, the huge expectations that are put on you as a second overall selection, and a lot of the eyes are going to be on you. Just how are you kind of being able to handle that, and just being able to do your job on the ice?
Yeah, you know, I'm just focused on myself, right? I try to block all that stuff out and just play my game, right? It works, and continue doing what works, and the rest of the stuff will take care of itself. So,
a couple days in, how have you thought that training camp's been going, and what are you hoping to take away from this whole week in general once it's all said and done?
Yeah, training camp's been great, and key takeaways for me are just to learn a bunch, listen to all the older guys, and take some feedback with me, positives, negatives, and work from there and try to get better as the days go on.
Have the coaching staff tried to kind of instill anything into you guys as far as X's and O's, or has it more been so trying to get you guys to know each other on and off the ice and kind of build that relationship as well?
Yeah, exactly. The coach has been great. They kind of let us do our own thing for the most part, and they want to see what everyone's got and kind of let the chemistry start to kick in, and then after we'll go through systems and get those things settled down.
And lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your former teammate, Brice Cook. You guys played against each other yesterday. Are you guys kind of going at it? Is there a little bit of a healthy competition, healthy rivalry you guys got building on, or would you have preferred to play on his line?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great to play with him and play against him. He's a great player, and it's fun to work with him and work against him. So there's definitely a little bit of inner competition there, but he's been looking great, and we had a pretty good game the other day.
And just in general, since the last time we spoke to you, we spoke to you just as you were drafted last year. A lot of things have changed since then. So what do you think is the biggest improvement for you from when we talked to you just after the draft last year? Because we obviously had 2 draft classes coming in at the same time. You didn't get to play your rookie season last year, so this is essentially your rookie year. Just how much do you think you've grown, and where do you think that your biggest improvements need to be?
Yeah, I mean, the last 16, 17 months have been a huge learning curve, and it was a great opportunity to take advantage of to get stronger and faster. So I think those are the 2 biggest things that I focused on and feel that I've improved on the most. So.
Perfect. Thanks, Pano. We'll be seeing a lot of you down here in Niagara. Welcome, and hopefully finish off camp well, and we'll talk soon when the season starts.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
2020 draft pick Brice Cook. Brice, first time here in Niagara for a training camp. What have you thought of it so far, and was it everything that you had expected, or is there something that you might be taking from this week that you didn't know coming in?
Yeah, it's been a super tough camp, really competitive. It's been a lot of fun. I've loved meeting the guys so far. It's been a really great experience, so looking forward to the next day.
How have you thought of the competition level so far? And again, you're coming in with another draft class as well from 2021. Just what have you thought of the competition level and just kind of the overall intensity with 2 full draft classes coming in at the same time? Has that helped you?
Yeah, I think with the time off there, everyone has grown, gotten bigger, stronger, faster. So it's obviously very competitive right now, and there's still spots available for guys. And it's been a lot of fun competing with them.
Have the coaches told you anything specific that they're looking for you to get out of camp, or is there specific goals that you're trying to achieve to get out of this week?
Yeah, just little things like moving my feet more and making the right play. I think that's something I could work on. But other than that, I think I've been doing a really good job.
You're a physical player. You like to throw your weight around at times. Just do you think that that's a strength of your game, and is that something that you're going to try to bring to this IceDogs lineup?
Yeah, for sure. I like to play a tough physical game as well as a speed game and skills. So I really rely on those abilities.
And lastly, you have a teammate of yours from your previous league there. You had Pano Fimis coming along with you. Just what is your first of all, what is your scouting report on Pano, and what do you think that he's going to bring to the IceDogs?
Yeah, Pano's a very fast player, very smart player. A lot like Brice Bergeron. He's great in the D zone, great off faceoffs. Just a great player, great guy.
Has that helped you coming into a new organization, new city, having somebody with you, a teammate that has kind of been here with you and to kind of lean on as well?
Yeah, just to go through the process as two young guys together, I feel like it's been a lot easier to make that transition to the next level.
And lastly, you guys aren't on the same groupings. Have you enjoyed playing against him, or would you have preferred to play alongside of him, or has it kind of been a cool experience to kind of throw the body around on Pano, which you've never really got to do?
Yeah, it's been definitely different for me. I'm so used to playing him, but it's been a lot of fun playing against him, and looking forward to the next time.
Thanks, Brice. Best of luck in the rest of training camp, and hopefully the IceDog fans will see you come October.
Yeah, thank you.
IceDogs defenseman, veteran defenseman Mason Howard. Mason, the team that you are on, Team Black, it's a very young roster. You're one of the only veterans on the team. What are you trying to instill in those guys as a veteran presence, not only for the IceDogs, but especially this very young group that you're a part of right now?
Yeah, we're just trying to get them to play an OHL style of game, getting pucks deep. It's not minor midget anymore. No more turnovers at the blue line. We're getting pucks in, going on the forecheck like an OHL game.
So 2 draft classes coming in at the same time. What have you thought about the compete level? And again, a lot of guys competing for not a lot of roster spots. What have you thought of the intensity and just the overall play from these young kids coming in?
They have a lot of skill. All these young guys are coming in battling for spots. They got a lot of skill. Like I said, they're quick. They want to make the team, and they're playing really good right now.
What about you and a couple of the veterans that are returning? Not a whole lot of you guys left from the last time the IceDogs were out playing here. So what are you trying to do with your game? And as the one of the veterans of this team, how are you going to kind of lead by example in that role?
Just trying to be role models for the younger guys, show them the ways here. Try and get them to play like us. One day, then maybe they can take over our spots.
Yeah, and obviously the shot block king, Mason Howard. He scored a couple of goals today, though, in that first game. How did you feel out there?
Yeah, I felt good today. Early morning, got a good breakfast in, just feeling good.
And what about, lastly, the legs? Just, Pliny being back out on the ice, playing some sort of meaningful hockey and sort of game speed there. How did you feel that your legs were coming back out on the ice after such a long layoff?
Yeah, it's been a long off season. We try our best to stay in shape, but there's nothing like playing games. So doing everything I can to keep the legs intact here, and we're getting ready for the season.
What do you think about that yoga stuff that Jake Uberti's got you guys on? Is that catching on with the team, or is that something he's gonna have to keep to himself?
Still fake yoga for Ubs.
We've got defenseman Dakota Betts. Dakota, one of the returning guys here. What have you thought about the compete level and just the overall intensity of camp with 2 full draft classes coming in? What have you thought of that?
It's been a good camp so far. There's a lot of good guys coming here. We're all fighting for spots, and it's been some good hockey so far. So it's fun to be back.
And as one of the returning players, just are you reaching out to any of these young guys and trying to help them along? You were once at your first training camp, so you know how nerve-wracking that can be. Just what kind of a veteran presence are you trying to be there for these young guys?
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to set an example. I was in their shoes at one point, so I just wanted to be there for them and give them pointers, whatever I can do to help them out and make them feel comfortable out on the ice.
Missing out on last year, obviously hurt, but how did you feel like you got your legs back going here in somewhat competitive hockey once again? Just how have you felt so far during training camp?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on competitive ice, but it took a little bit, but it feels good to be back on the ice.
And just what are you hoping to get away from the end of training camp here? Obviously one of the only vets, I keep saying that, but is there something specific that you're trying to work on in your game, or something that the coaches have instilled in you that they want to see from you?
Just be physical and just play my game. Just everyone's fighting for a spot here, so I just got to play my game and then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have you enjoyed being the veteran on the on your team there? Not a lot of new faces and a lot of young guys. Just have you enjoyed kind of that role?
Yeah, it's a good role because everyone looks up to you, and you always have to be the guy in the room to step up and say something. But yeah, it's awesome for kids to look up to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Dakota. Best of luck in the rest of training camp. We'll see you this season. We're here with Cam Snow making his debut today. Cam, how do you think you felt out there scoring 2 goals? You got out there pretty late, wearing number 19. A lot of guys didn't even know you were going to be out there today, but it was an interesting game for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, first period was pretty rough, trying to get my legs back under me. First game with hitting for a while for me, right? So just trying to get going. Second period, I felt pretty good. I got a couple of bounces here and there to put some pucks in the net, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were down 7-3 there. I mean, it was a huge comeback. Just what do you think of that young group that you're playing with? It's not many veterans, a lot of rookie players. Just how do you think you guys did out there?
Yeah, we did well. We fell down pretty big in the second period, then we just came back. Didn't give up, kept going, and tied it back up, which is good. So.
And lastly, how did your legs feel out there, being your first day out there as opposed to missing out yesterday?
Pretty rough. First period the legs were heavy, didn't really feel myself, but second period felt much better. So just ready to go for the next game.
Perfect. Are you ready for the season? And it's been a long layoff there. Are you ready to go, getting ready for the season?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's going to be good to get back out there for sure.
Yeah. We've got Jake Uberti, a.k.a. Big Bert. Big Bert looking out for the team. How have you thought that you've been to camp once before with the Ice Dogs? You're here as one of the veterans. How do you think it's been going, and what have you been trying to instill in some of the younger guys in your group?
I think the camp is going well so far. A big thing is just improving daily, improving each game, and just slowly getting better, right? You want to peak at the right time. You don't want to peak at camp, so it's a matter of creating good habits and battling and playing good hockey. So come puck drop in October when the regular season starts, we're ready to go.
What have you thought of the competition level? Again, 2 full draft classes coming in at the same time. How have you thought the compete level's been there with the guys? A lot of guys competing for not a lot of roster spots. So what have you thought of the intensity and the level of play so far?
Yeah, exactly. It's a competitive camp. The level of play is good. Obviously, we would like to be a little bit higher. We want to stimulate OHL level hockey. So we're working towards that. We got another game this afternoon, and we're looking to raise the intensity again. So just again, progressively getting better each game.
We've noticed that you've gained some size. You've been throwing your weight around there through camp. Just how have you thought that you've grown since the last time you were on the ice, and what are you trying to improve on most this year as one of the veterans on this team and a guy that's going to be leaned on for things like power play, penalty kill, and basically all situations as one of the key centermen?
Right. You want to be prepared for any and every situation, obviously. So I'm going to work on my game as a whole, but at the same time, all I want to do is win. We want to win in Niagara, so anything that I can do to help the team to win, that's what I'm going to do.
And is there anything in specific that the coaching staff have tried to instill in you guys, or is it more so just trying to get to know the players on and off the ice, or just kind of try not to put a lot of pressure, especially on these young guys coming in as first-year players all at once?
Right. The coaches are stressing a lot of second efforts. This is a second-effort league, so you just want to battle and compete and bring your best every time you're at the rink, and that's all you can ask for from these guys. So that's what we're trying to do here.
And lastly, a couple of veterans back. You got Landon Cato, Mason Howard, Cam Butler. Just what have you thought of the veterans and, kind of how you guys have been taking this camp as opposed to some of the rookies coming in, for their first year? Just what are you trying to bring to those guys and kind of let them know?
Right. I'm impressed with a lot of them. A lot of them have taken a step in development, and that's all you can ask for. We want to keep competing. We want to keep creating good habits, and that starts from up top with us. So we're gonna do that as a group, and then we're gonna let it flow down to the young guys, and hopefully we have a really successful year.
And lastly, Jake, what are you looking for? What would be a successful season for you this year, going into a season that you're going to be relied upon heavily? Just kind of what are your expectations for goals that you put on yourself and the team this year? Because obviously the season didn't finish off the way you'd like, so you guys are obviously hoping to build back up as well. So what are your expectations for yourself and the team this year?
Right, a big one for me is just going into every game, bringing my best, giving my team a chance to win every night. And I think that's the goal for the team as well. We want to go into every game and win each game. There's not a reason why we should go into any game any game with a losing mentality. So it's just going into the rink every day with the winning mentality, going to win, going to compete, going to bring your best.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Jake. Best of luck the rest of training camp, and can't wait to see you out on the ice with the full packed Meridian Center come this October.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.